Hi, and welcome to another Chickcast. So this is episode 4. Before I say anything more, I need to thank my very first Patreon, PlutoniumOD. I have a Patreon. The information will be in the link for this video and the last video. Any support that I get from you really lovely people will go straight back into this stream, into this video, as I want to improve like a backdrop. At the moment it's just a door and a flag, the Canadian flag, because I'm half Canadian. I was born in Quebec, and then maybe a better camera. So that's what I aim to get with anybody who would be just so gracious to gift me with a Patreon. And there's some rewards, so if you go onto there you will see some of the rewards that you will get for being a patron to myself. So that's out of the way. Today I want to talk about the different kind of materials and products that Games Workshop, or as they're being rebranded as Warhammer, produce, because there's a few different types. So maybe I've just realised I've missed out one, but it's quite an old one. I have got some I've got some pictures to show you guys what I'm talking about. So this video is more aimed at the newcomer, but of course we all learn new things. You know, I'm in a couple of months I've been a modeler hobbyist for 4 years, and I still learn, and that's nothing. I know people who've been in the hobby for 20 odd years. I think I was maybe 25 years ago into Warhammer, very old. Back then it was mainly metal models, so it was lead or pewter. They have come a long way since then, but there are still a few old models that are made out of metal, which when you compare them to our modern kits, like some recent releases would be the plastic custodians, the new Abaddon model, Belisarius Cool, you know, really good, fantastic kits. So there's no real need for them to be selling ancient kits. And I'll put my phone on silent. Right, so I'm going to show a picture of what everybody will be familiar with. So their first product is this one. So this is a plastic model. This is an Eldar Farseer, I believe. So we all are familiar with this, get my hands, this kind of thing. So this is what you will normally buy and will be in kits. Now, plastic is a brilliant material. Their moulding is fantastic. Very, very rarely have I come across an issue with a model. I think my most recent one was that as I was taking a model out of a blister pack like this, so here's the blister pack, I broke it taking it out, but I contacted their customer service, and their customer service is fantastic, and they apologised, and in a couple of days, actually I think the next following day, they sent me out a new model to replace that. So most of the models will be plastic. They're good kits. I mean, you have to do the basics, you know, cut them off the sprue, trim them, take mold lines off. These are things that I will cover in some upcoming videos, and then prime them. But they are brilliant. So they do everything from a tiny little tech marine or an admech tech priest, up to the biggest models are Imperial Knights, and they've got the Bane Blade super heavy tank. Beautiful models. Their design is becoming better and better and better. I've noticed a difference in 4 years in the kits, and just it's insanely beautiful. And the people who make these models are so talented. Which brings me on to another product. So this one here, you may not know, but sometimes you do. This is called finecast. So when you buy a finecast model, it will say on the box, or if you read it on the website, it will say resin. It's this material. This model is a very good example of when they get it right. That's a very good Terminator Chaplain, which I've had for ages, and I really, really, really need to paint him. But finecast has problems. It can become warped when it's molded, so and detail can be lost. You can get bubbles, it can break, it's very brittle. a good example is I use my hobby knife just to clean up my plastic models, but on finecast the material is very soft and you can quite easily accidentally cut off an important part that you didn't mean to. But I have had some fantastic models, like the one I've just shown you, the Space Marine Thunderfire cannon. I've only got one and I had it a long time ago, but that really good kit. You can see some of these on my Instagram, which I will put some links to. But it was developed to phase out the metal models and perhaps be more superior to plastic, but in my opinion it's not a very good substance, and they still do a few limited runs of finecast, but as far as I'm concerned, if that goes away, I will not lose any sleep. Now thirdly, I just wanted to say that most models are not finecast, so new kits, new releases will not be made out of that material. Then the third kind, not including metal, is their range, or their sort of other arm of the business called Forge World, and they deal with the resin, so that's proper resin models, and they deal with small kits, large kits, up to Titans and big flyers and super heavy tanks. Forge World is aimed at the more advanced modeler, so you know it's not really for, you can, but it is aimed at more experienced people. I mean, the first Forge World model I ever had was a really massive super heavy tank, and I was so naive and green when I did that, and I've come back and I kind of paint primarily Forge World models because I love resin. I will put up an example. So here we go. This is part of a resin model. So this is part of a robot. It's a Thanatar Siege Automata. It's a very large model. That part you see there is the body and head and the shoulders, and it's bigger than a Castellan robot in terms of size. Yeah, they are large kits. They do small kits down to Space Marines and Guardsmen, but they do massive and large kits. I like those. So I like the tanks, I like the robots. This is going to be I'm looking forward to painting that model. That is from the Mechanicum range in the Horus Heresy. So they focus on Warhammer 30,000. So that's during the as I said, the Horus Heresy. They do some fantastic models, beautiful models, but it's not plastic. There are some problems. There's something called mold slip. So you'll get the mold. Stop hitting that. The mold will instead of being together like that, it will slip, and then you'll get like a ridge of resin, and you can sometimes, if they're quite small, you can cut them off and fire them and fill them with putty or green stuff. Sometimes you just can't. Again, if you contact Forge World customer care, they are as awesome as the Games Workshop arm of customer service, and they will send replacements. They'll either send one part if you're building a big model or any kind of model, and just for example, a foot is miscast or it broke or something, they'll send you that. Sometimes they'll send you the entire model, which is awesome. Just after Christmas this year, I bought a very large Space Marine super heavy tank called a Falchion. It's a beautiful model. It's right there, and I really do need to paint it. But when I got the kit home, most models come in either bags or boxes. My one came in bags, and I was sorting out the bags, and I was going through all the parts, and I noticed that I had half the model was missing, and I had duplicate parts. And I contacted Forge World. They were fantastic about it. But unfortunately, my emails to them, so I emailed them pictures and proof of purchase, and it got lost a little bit. And after a week, I contacted them, and I said, "Oh, what's going on?" And they apologised, and they said, "Look, keep the model." So I kept what I had, and they sent me a new one, which is brilliant. So they are inclined to do that, but to work with the material, you need to do lots of heat bending. So parts of a model, like a barrel, could be slightly bent or drooping, and there's hot water or a hair dryer will straighten it, and then there's areas where you might need to fill with putty or green stuff. So it is for it is recommended that you have a little bit more experience when dealing with forged rub models. Again, that's something I will cover on this channel because I love Forge Rod. I'm probably one of their biggest customers. I buy a lot of their Space Marine kits. I have a lot of them, tanks and Space Marines, and now I'm looking at the robots, the big robots. I adore them all, and the big knights as well, so they're awesome. So they are the sort of the range of materials, and you'll need tools for those materials. I will do I'm lining myself up for other videos here because I want to get content on my channel, but I will do a short video on how to deal with, the tools, that you will need to deal with these models, like a file and glue and a hobby knife. And like the obvious thing is, if you don't have any glue, this hobby doesn't work. So it's like the essentials that you need, and then I can cover paints and stuff like that. So hopefully that's informative to you guys, whether you are a newcomer or you are experienced, or you just don't know or you didn't know. Hopefully I've educated some people. I always appreciate good feedback. I've had some constructive feedback and it's fantastic, and I am learning. And this channel it will grow and evolve, and I would love you guys to be part of this. So if you would be ever so kind, you can like, subscribe and share these videos on my channel, and then there's Patreon as well. All of that is greatly appreciated. And also, if you have any ideas of future content, I would really appreciate that. And also, if you want to guest on my channel, that would be awesome. I have got some guests to line up and some collab with some other people. I think one of my rewards tier on Patreon is an invite to my studio to guest appear with me. That's not something obviously you would have to pay for. I would accept anybody. If you're enthusiastic and you love Warhammer, then I'm more than happy to have you here, and then I can grill you about any part of the hobby. And there's always that chance that we might just talk about other things, our other hobbies and other interests that we have. Because I don't want to sound like I'm begging, because I'm not. It's just that I want to produce as high quality videos as I possibly can, so that you guys who just being so amazing in supporting me and following me can have some good material in return. So I have waffled on. Hopefully you've got an idea of what I mean with my video, and episode 5 of my podcast, or I'm going to call it the Chickcast, I have a guest of mine joining me, and that'll be up sometime in the next few days or next week. I'm not sure on a schedule yet, but thank you for joining me. I'm going to pop on the end screen. I will see you guys in the next show. Have a good day.